The myth of zero prep. There's no such thing. This is going to get me in trouble. So there's a lot of hullabaloo going around for the last couple of months about zero prep. The best way to run is zero prep. The only way to run is zero prep. The right way to run is zero prep. Zero prep or else. You can run with zero prep. They can't. It's literally impossible, because even if you are completely unprepared, they show up at your door at 3 o'clock in the morning wanting to play the most obscure thing you can think of. The second that word leaves their mouth, even if it's, hey, Mike, run something, your brain starts percolating. Your brain automatically goes to that Rolodex of ideas, pop culture, everything you've read, video game you've played, every other D&D game you've played, everything. So you are prepared. Crashland, Desert Island, they want you to run a game. Oh, I don't have any dice, I don't have any paper, I don't have anything prepared, but you do. You are prepared to run. Even if you've never run before, even if you don't understand the rules, you have some inkling of the genre. Even if it's basic comic book inkling, even if it's basic I watched the movie knowledge, you still have enough that if they said, hey, Kiki, run a dungeon, you could be like, okay. Because I remember this, and I remember that, and I got this, and I know I have that, and I read that once, and I can string them all together, plus react to what they do, and I can just make shit up as I go along. I'm prepared. So there's no such thing as a zero prep as a DM. Even if it's a genre you've never run before, chances are your pop culture repository has some basic understanding of superheroes, space, the Old West, underwater, cowboys, whatever, doesn't matter, fantasy, Middle Earth, because we're just inundated with pop culture. We're inundated with ideas constantly. We have access to a phone, and so we have access to our imagination. We have access to the tools that you could run. So there's no such thing as zero prep. Once you're on board, once they're on board, the ideas will just start popping like popcorn. And before you know it, you have a full-blown wherewithal. Some of the best campaigns I played in, and some of the most iconic campaigns I've ever heard of, started with the, hey, run something. We've all heard the story of how Critical Role started because Taleson wanted a D&D game with his friends for his birthday. Mercer didn't have anything planned. They just showed up and he's like, this is what I want to do. And some of them had played before, some of them never played, but they all had a basic idea. They were all very imaginative folks. They knew each other, they got along with each other, and things just started and fell into place. And 10 years later, it's Critical Role. First Villains and Vigilantes campaign I was ever in. The time travel game I was in up north. GURP Supers campaign. All just kind of started on a whim. Started with, I'm not prepared. Or, hey, run this. Hey, Mike, run this. Hey, Mike, take over my game. I can't run it anymore. Can you run it? And it just happens. So I don't know why people seem to want to get on this zero prep bandwagon, either for it or against it. Because if you have faith in yourself to play this silly little thing, and you understand the basic framework of whatever genre you're choosing to play, you're ready. You can, run a quick dungeon, run a quick bank robbery, run a quick spaceship flight, and as the group starts chilling and gelling together and getting the vibe and playing off each other, and they start tossing out ideas, the game grows and becomes something more. Maybe becomes a 10-year-long epic campaign. Maybe it only lasts a day or two, and then people are like, I don't want to play this anymore. But you're like, hey, but we had a good idea. Let's run with it. So I am a firm believer that as long as you have access to your imagination, have some general ideas of the parameter of whatever it is you're running or playing, You can do it. It could be obscure. Superheroes. I don't know anything about superheroes. Yeah, you do. You're constantly bombarded with the MCU and the DCU and comic books and Saturday morning cartoons. Outer space. I don't know anything about outer space. Yeah, you do. You're constantly bombarded with Star Trek, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, Deep Space Nine, Andromeda, our Star Raiders. It's just, you can't not. I don't know anything about fantasy. Yeah, you do. Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia, Little Red Riding Hood, fairy tales. That book you had to read in elementary school. It's in there. Every TV show, every movie, every book, every comic book, every video game, every other D&D adventure you've been on. It's in there. And all you need is that word for the faucet to open and the flood of ideas to start pouring out. So even if you don't have a framework, even if you don't have anything on paper, even if you don't have the tools, as long as you have faith in yourself, and as long as everybody else is hooked into this and having fun, you're prepped, dude. You're ready to go. So, yeah, I don't think there's such a thing as zero prep. I mean, you could say, well, what if the person's never, ever, lived on a desert island, never, ever been exposed to anything? Well, why would you ask this person to run a game if they spent their entire life living on a desert island without any knowledge of anything? But even if you have no knowledge of anything, yeah, they do. They have knowledge of life on the desert island. They have knowledge of everything they've done to survive. They have knowledge of whatever they've imagined in their life to keep themselves entertained at night when they can't be out working the island. That builds up an inner mythology. And then they could take the skills and the knowledge of what they've learned on the desert island and be like, okay, I'm running a game where you're trapped on a desert island. I mean, yes, it's pretty much extreme, but somebody's going to say, well, what if? You don't know what you're talking about, OGGM. You're an idiot. You're not very experienced. So, yeah, the tools are there. Trust yourself. The tools are there. Trust yourself. The tools are there. Trust the GM. Trust your players. Trust the table. Trust your imagination. Trust the game. It's a game. It's a game. It's a game.